Hi, boys and girls, and welcome to today's lesson. We're going to talk about area of trapezoids, and then we're going to also look at the formula for area of a triangle. Remember, most of these formulas are just dealing with I have a base of a shape, I have a height of a shape, and being able to put those two bits of information together. Take notes in your spirals, writing this example as I write it on here, so that way you're understanding the concept with us together. And then I want you to also make sure we get at least one example from the video you watch on triangles. Okay, so let's get started. So here we go. We have our first example of a trapezoid is got two bases. Now remember, the bases are going, let me get you, move myself away from the formula. There we go. The bases are going to be parallel. Now here I've labeled B1 as the bottom one, but you really could do it either way because they're going to be added. 2 plus 3 and 3 plus 2 is the same thing either way. So identifying the bases is the most important part, knowing that the bases are the two parallel lines. This line is parallel to that line, so I know that's the basis of my trapezoid. Now remember, this slanted line here wouldn't even have to be here, and this would still be a trapezoid. You could have this line coming straight down where the height is and look more like a shoe, and then you're like, hey, why do they only have one slanted line? It's still a trapezoid because it's got one set of parallel lines, and that's how you define a trapezoid. So our first example here, we're going to make base 1 is going to be 6, and we're going to have base 2 being 4. So we're going to plug that information or substitute that information into the formula, and I may need to move me again, for our bases. And then the height, remember, is always how tall you are, how tall your actual trapezoid is from the bottom to the top. Remembering, again, I'm not taller if I put my arms out to the side. Look how slanted I am, and I'm totally so tall. That's not how it works. You're tall. Your height is how tall you are from the bottom to the top of your figure. So we're going to say base 1 is right there as 6 meters, and then we're going to say our base 2 is right there at 4 meters. So the average of those two would be to add the two together and then divide them in half. So we're still really just looking at one base times the height, like we are with parallelograms and with rectangles. It's just base times height. So that's our height, that's how tall it is. Remembering, the only reason we're doing 2 is because these two bases are different lengths, and you can't just take base times height if the two bases are different. So here we go. Let's put a 6 in where the base 1 goes. Yes, write this in your notes. Then let's put a 4 where the base 2 is. Yes, write this in your notes step by step. Here we go, and make sure you've drawn the figure. Now the height we already said was 5. Now according to PEMDAS, order of operations, you're going to do what's inside the parentheses first, and there's an addition inside those parentheses, so we have to do that before we do anything else at all. You're going to have to take the 6 plus 4, which would get us 10. Let's write that down. We now have 10 meters is our base 1 plus our base 2. Again, 4 plus 6 would have been 10 also, so the order didn't matter. Times the 5. Now you have a choice at this point. You could go ahead and cut 10 in half and multiply that by 5, but I'm going to show you the other way. If you go ahead and do your multiplying here, and then so we would say, oh wait, I went too fast, or it went too fast. Let me pause the video. So our half of 10 is 5, and then 5 times 5 would be 5. Or you could have said 10 times 5 first, 10 times 5 is 50, and half of that would be 25. Either way, you're going to get the same answer. Personally, I like cutting it in half first once I've done my adding, because then it's a smaller number, and everybody likes dealing with smaller numbers. Okay. And that's it for this example. We are ready to move into triangles / the triangle song. Let me make sure. Okay, we've got our volume. And I think I need to disappear for this one. So, or maybe I'll hang out in the corner and watch the video with you. area. Listen up, I got the right words in area. Through the streets, shot it, polygon. I am on this map, got it like me. If you live your home, calculate the area, you is really simple. This information's on your map chart. The info, this is what you do. Motivate face and the right and right to. Motivate face and the right and right to. Area of a triangle that one half the hey, one half the one lady. Let me break down the area. Listen up, I got the right word in area. Through the streets, shot it, polygon. I am on this map, got it like me. If you live your home, calculate the area, you is really simple. Hard part is just picking up the pencil. Got the info, this is you. Multiply the base and the height, divide it by two. Multiply the base and the height, divide it by two. Area of a triangle that one half the like one half the sides divided by two. Let me break down the area. Listen up, I got the right word in area. Through the streets, shot it, polygon. I am on triangles. Calculate the area, you is really simple. Hard part is just picking up the pencil. Got the info, this is you. Multiply the base and the height, divided by two. Multiply the base and the height, divided by two. It's divided by two. It's divided by two. It's divided by two. It's divided by two. Area of a triangle. Triangle. One half the like one half the. Okay, I think you get the point.